sponsors come up and join us today. Her name is Paula Melley. I think you may know her from BNI. She is a senior strategic business consultant with Paychex. I always love reading people's bios or just a little bit about themselves because I think it tells a lot about who they are. And Paula is no exception to that role. So, President Club winner, fast start recipient, bronze producer, meets and exceeds her quotas every year. In her past life, she did not say she wanted to come out and back as a different animal, but she was an award-winning TV reporter, producer, and production manager, VP of Medical Marketing and Home Health Space, construction operation and management, media, so certainly lots and lots of experience. What I love most is maybe she can tell us how she keeps up with her 13-year-old boys. She's been married for over 20 years, avid runner and Orange Theory addict, someone that maybe you would be great friends with in this room. And a unique fact, and this touches my heart, when she is doing karaoke, you would never guess, Miss Elliott, hit your feet. Watch out.
Are we here today?
And with that being said, maybe that's part of her presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, and I need help again with your code. Thank you for that presentation. Gosh, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you everyone for having me here today. Really appreciate this. I hope you can hear me all right. Let me know if this helps. Does that help hearing me? Yes, it's up here. Yes, so I was asked here today to talk a little bit about the Power of PEO. I'm starting off with that. You know, what is a professional employer organization? It is a, here we go. First off, let's do where we're headed, right? So what it is, because a lot of people, I make the assumption, I get ahead of myself, people do know what it is, and I still have clients who've been with me for 5 years going, is it people eating oranges? I agree with this. Because what we do is magic, but most people don't know what it is. Who's a typical PEO customer? We've got some case studies that I think will be helpful to kind of illustrate where and when we help our clients. And then obviously, is it right for you? And qualifying questions here. So, is there like a magic button to this? Like, do I have to stick with it or something? Or is there a place to point that out for me? Okay. All right, so real quick, who has an idea of what a PEO is? Right? Oh, sorry, you're eating. Make it quick, I only have 10 minutes.
I got 9.
Okay, somebody else is not eating. Okay, what do you think it is?
Basically is when the employees of the current company is leased to the professional employer organization, and they basically control the workers' comp, payroll, benefits, and workers' comp, payroll, taxes, and benefits. So it strips the liability from workers' comp, unemployment, and what do you call it? All the I-9s away from the business owner.
Okay, you're tired. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I mean, I call it the bubble wrap your back office. So we're never going to tell you who to hire, who to fire. We're not going to tell you how to run your business. We're just going to be there as an insulation for what you're doing in the back office that helps you support those employees. And it's an aggregation of all those things. So when you're with us, we're going to negotiate to carriers of all kinds, workers' compensation, just like this fine gentleman mentioned, payroll administration, technology, HRIS systems for your employees to log in to see what their payroll stubs are, what their paid time off balances are. We are going and negotiating on your behalf in perpetuity with 1.7 million lives. So it's similar to when you go to Costco, right? You have a membership, you go there, you're going to get a higher quality bean, Starbucks, Greek bean, Arabica bean, Kirkland brand, cheaper. Same with Scotch. We have some Scotch drinkers in the house. The Kirkland brand, I think, is Macallan or Glenlivet. Same distillery, but it's their brand. You're getting a higher quality and lower cost because we're aggregating those things. So it's more than that, though. It's more than just aggregating the cost of it. It's also the liability in it because, as this fine gentleman said, we are now filing these things on your collective behalf under our collective tax IDs. So what does that mean? So when the IRS, when a state withholdings, when a state unemployment insurance company comes forward saying these weren't paid, this wasn't done, they have to get through the gauntlet that is us before they can get to you because we are the employer of paper. We are the employer of record. So it's a great installation, a great concept. And it does cover all things pertaining to employees that we're going to talk about. you've heard of the name. We've been around for 50 years. Tom Golisano started us. He's married to Monica Seles. He's written a couple of books. He's sitting fat, you know, not literally fat, but he's a multi-billionaire now. After building this on a premise out of his garage with $3,000 and a belief that small business deserved to be able to compete with the big guys. So now we're kind of the big guy, but we're sharing that with our clients. 1 in 12 private sector employees are paid through with the Paychex label on that. I was actually with Oasis, which is a privately held PEO based in Florida that was acquired in 2018 by Paychex. But it's been a great marriage of a boutique feel for our clients with that power of robustness of a publicly traded company behind us. So that just basically validates us as a partner. Okay, so value of PEO. So, in other words, like, what makes it special? And I wish I knew what it was. I wish I knew the magic sauce of why this works. But when people join us, their turnover goes down, their profits go up, their predictability and scalability in their business gets enhanced, their health benefits, their HR-related anticipated concerns, risk, liability, all tends to go in the right directions that you want as it relates to running a business. I think this is really a great telling thing about this. Inc. magazine did an article on PEOs in 2021, and it really brought to the fore the pandemic, especially what we really do and where we do the best. And there were 3 core areas that really brought to the forefront PEO power, and that was obviously the burgeoning remote workforce, everybody going from home, a lot of people wanting to stay home in the wake of the pandemic clearing, altered expectations surrounding benefits. People's preferences changed. They wanted more than just the traditional health insurance. They wanted FinFit. They wanted access to employee discount programs. They want ancillaries, vision, dental, long-term, short-term disability, greater technologies to make their lives easier because things went remote and things went virtual. So there was a heavier reliance on technology and a greater expectation for employers and employees and what they wanted out of their work-life experience, work-life balance, the whole nine. It's what we're coining as the consumerization of the employee experience. They want everything to feel like Amazon. And how to do that in a very quick way is very hard to do to make the lives of people easier as it relates to using technology. That's really what we've seen, and that's been the high expectation of our clients. Greater technology, greater high touch with backing and support of the people, and having greater access to benefits. They probably haven't offered before. A really telling thing, we did a diagnostic on success, profitability, growth outside of the PEO during the pandemic phase. Nearly 1 in 3 recorded growth. Inside of the PEO, almost 7 out of 10 said that they actually grew instead of contracted in that same time. I thought this was a good case study for you to kind of take a look at. This is a gentleman that I absolutely love. I have worked with him since he opened his doors. His first payroll with us was January 17th. At that time, he had 2 employees. First Light Home Care is a franchise system I do significant work with. I used to work in home care, so I'm very close to that industry. Now, if you look at it through a pandemic, now this is a gentleman 2 months before everything got shuttered, and he's in Oregon. So Oregon, every jurisdiction, as you know, had different laws as it related. Some are pretty loose. Florida's like, what COVID? You know, other places were like, go home, we're all dying. So he was a little bit in the middle of Oregon. They also have much more stringent employment laws. Didn't know what he was doing. He's like, I've never owned a business. I have no idea what to do. So he joined us, and I see him, and I love him. He's just got a great entrepreneurial soul. Rookie of the year for First Light in his first year. And now he's got 129 employees that he's paying consistently every week. About $3.2 million in payroll in home care. And if you think about marketing when you're in a pandemic, it's one thing when you have relationships. This is a guy that went to business, and he was told to stay home. He couldn't go out and market to anybody. But he partnered with us because he trusted it. He knew, I know what I'm doing. I have no business having employees. The only way to grow this is to get support there, which we did. And I asked him, the thing I asked him yesterday why he stays and why they love us. And what I love about it is that he gave a name. And Martha is his payroll account manager. And she's honestly one of my favorite people. I will call her. She's on the West Coast, and if I have an East Coast problem, I go, Martha, I know this isn't your person, but I need your help. And she said, what can I do? And she will just do whatever it takes. And that's really the difference with what we do. You aren't getting a 1-800 number. You're not going to get You're not going to get sorry, you're going to get people. Because we know that that's the backbone of your business and it's the backbone of ours. I look at this about, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is really kind of, I think, makes a lot of sense that in order to self-actualize, you cannot, without your physiological needs being met, you can't get to that top. And this is really kind of becoming kind of top of mind amongst HR professionals, that your employees need a physiological backing. They need security, support, and the belief there is a legitimate concern by the employer regarding their well-being. That's why healthy businesses, healthy employees. Oh my gosh, 2 minutes. Okay. Esteem needs, self-actualization is where you want your employees to go. And so they're inspired to do the best in the work that they do. And if you think about that, trying to do that without a partner that already kind of has it hardwired, you're just reinventing wheels that you don't need to do, and you just end up spinning them. So, real briefly, this is the concept of how we back our clients. You have a stampede of individuals behind you to support you as it relates to building out your HR assessment, your core needs of your employees, any questions you have pertaining to workers' compensation, payroll, health insurance. You're going to be able to punt the lion's share of those things so you can focus on running your business and growing your business. This is another case study that I think is good. This is a restaurant I've worked with since 2016. He's putting on a conference in April in Virginia Beach, and it's about scaling your business. He has 8 locations, about 500 employees. He uses us for everything: employment tax, liability insurance, unemployment hearings and attendance, code for administration, work opportunity tax credit, and FICA tax credit, which we're not going to have time to get into, but a great way to offset your overhead as it relates to payroll taxes. Biggest area where we helped him was with employer retention tax credit collection and remittance to him, because our ability to get their credits that much quicker and the money back for cash flow has kept him alive, and he hasn't fired anyone, which has been really amazing. 84% of employees will stay because we do all of our stuff pretty quickly. Right. Sorry about that. Oh boy. Sure. I can go past this. Okay, we're going to skip this too. This is just the employee life cycle on everything that we do. Soup to nuts, cradle to grave, how you handle those employees. And I recommend every new client to start with us with a HR assessment. It's an hour and a half. It's going to be the best that you do, because it's a diagnostic end-to-end of how you're handling those employees, so we can identify flanks exposed that we need to shore up through better compliance, and then build out a 12-month project. I don't know how much time I have, so I don't know if I should just can it now. I could go on for 90 years, because I love what I do, and I love what we do for our clients, and I really thank you for having me today. And I hope I didn't leave you with more questions than answers, and I hope you found this useful. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for Paula while she's mic'd?
The pricing? Oh yes, great question. So the pricing is obviously the higher the payroll, the lower the percentage. We charge a percentage of payroll. And so we require an assessment because we're going to evaluate you for the workers' compensation, health insurance. We can look at as much or as little as you want, but all those things manifest into it, into the price. But it's, a safe bet is, I've seen it go as low. I've got groups that the median wage is about 150,000 a person. It can go as low as literally 28%. And I've seen it also with new startups. It can go as high as 4%. It really depends on where you're located, what the need is, and how many employees you have and what they're going to make. So that you have multiple factors that weigh on that, but I'd be happy to do a complimentary analysis for anyone who wants it. Because it helps me to do those, even if you don't sign up. And it's really good for a due diligence. So if you have core vendors that you're using, if nothing else, it's a nice thing to sell marketing against to make sure you're doing it. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.